Yes, Gorlypops. It's Finny. I know it's been years since I've uploaded a video. Um and I'm sorry for that. Life just got in the way. That's how life is. Lots of things happened over these last few years. Um I moved, I got married, and yeah, I'm living life. Anyways, I have been in this little section of the internet called Girl World for quite some time now. Um, I actually think I got into it about the time that Miss Amberlynn Reid, here seen on your screen, started dating Beck, and I have been woefully indulging in the absolute chaos that is Girl World. And I really have a lot to say about Miss Reid here, um, especially given that Beck finally has found their voice, has found their strength, and has spoken out against Amber and all the things that she put them through. And I found that really wonderful to see. And I'm glad that Beck is doing this because I think, for certain things, you should let them go. You should move on with your life, yada, yada, yada. Um, Something like this, no, because Amber does not keep Beck's name out of her mouth. So she likes to talk about Beck. She likes to talk about, oh, all this stuff that Beck did and blah, 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 blah. And Beck owns up to the things that they did wrong. And Beck knows that they have, done things during that time that were not so kosher or were not the best. And they admit to not being the best partner at the time, but who could be the best partner at the time with this woman, this monster of a person. And, I'm not going to come on here and really talk about like Amberlynn's weight or things like that. Um, because, you could be a 500 plus pound person and be the nicest person in the world. And so your weight would not dictate your behaviors. That is just part of who she is. And the only discussion I will be having about her weight loss, things like that, will be um, in relation to medications that she's taking because I am unfortunately someone who is very well versed in medication. Um, I say unfortunately because that's unfortunate for Amber. Um, and B, did I say one or two? Anyways, I'm sounding like an idiot, but I also take a semaglutide. I'm off of it right now for personal reasons, um, but it is something that I have been taking for months. And so I can actually speak on it with personal anecdotal evidence, and I can also speak on it in a professional sense. Um, so that's really the only thing I'm going to talk about in regards to Amber's weight because I think that she likes to use that as an excuse for people hating on her and being a hater. Um Honestly, the weight thing, if you were 500 pounds and a nice person, I would have nothing to say on you. It doesn't matter. Your weight does not matter. I would feel bad if you felt bad in your own body. But Amber loves showing off her body. She loves showing herself off. So, you know, good for her. My problem with her is her personality. It's her personality and it's who she is at the core. So that's what I'm really focused on in this video. Now, I got my cat next to me. Her name is Jinxie. She's like 20 years old. And if she meows, you will be hearing it. And I am very sorry in advance because she is loud. But that's what happens when you're old and ornery. I'm just kidding. She's a sweetheart. Oh, I woke her up with that comment. Anyways, let's get into this video. It is from Miss Amberlynn Reid, called Responding to Beck, Gaining More Weight, and Grocery Haul. Sparkly emoji. Um, I'd also like to take a moment to say that Amber and I are the same age. We are a little over a month apart in age. So any commentary I have on her too is coming from someone who is in her age range, quite literally. Well, in her age range by like our biological dates. I'm not in her age range for dating.
Hello, welcome to a new vlog. Today is February 2nd, and I'm just getting ready for the day. I woke up just a little bit ago. So as you guys remember, yesterday I was trying to be super productive, distract myself, and all that.
Sorry in advance. I watch her at 2 times speed because I cannot listen to her drone on for like, I just can't. But I will, for the sake of this video, I will put her on 1.5. I just can't listen to that like fake Valley Girl thing that she does all the time. I can't do it. I'm sorry. Anyways.
Good stuff. And I put my perfumes in my closet. I walk through this closet 9 million times a day. So now I'm never going to forget to put perfume on, because I used to always forget to put perfume on. And now,
Girl, that is such a lie. What? You're a lie, Amberlynn. Anyways, we're 25 seconds into this and I'm already clocking her for lies. You put perfume on all the time, to the point that you came on here and said that people compliment you about your perfumes, that you smell so good. Well, you forget to put your perfume on? All right.
I'm not. Okay, you guys, so normally it would be my shot day today, but it hasn't came in the mail. It's shipping. So from the looks of it, I will be getting it on Tuesday. So we'll be doing it then, because as you guys know, my grocery days are my shot days. And I'm about to give you guys a grocery haul. I do want to make it very clear. I'm not watching what I eat. I'm watching how much I eat, because
All right. So I got to get into this because she is on semaglutide and she's on, I'm not sure if she's on the 0.5 or if she's upped it again or whatever. I think she's only done 2 rounds. So she would be on like 0.5 milligrams, or at least that's what mine would be. Because you do double it. You start 0.25, then 0.5, then you go up. So Amber talking about how she's not watching what she eats, she's watching how much she eats. Okay, that's fine, whatever. You do you. The things she buys, whatever. She has said in the past that semaglutide has made her stop her cravings for fast food and stuff like that. And the thing is, like, semaglutide doesn't really work in that way. Semaglutide really slows down the process of digestion. So when you're eating, your body goes through the digestive process. Some people have a faster digestive process than others. So semaglutide slows that down. That's why you have this feeling of satiation faster or faster and longer than you would off of it. So when you're eating, really, it's hard to eat more because your body hasn't digested what you have previously ate. So that's why when you're on these compounds, you eat smaller meals and less frequently, because it's very difficult to overeat on them without being very miserably sick. And now Amber here talks about how she is watching how much she eats. No, she doesn't. And I'm going to say that with confidence because she says that semaglutide makes her feel nauseous all the time. And the only time I have felt really nauseous on semaglutide was in the beginning when I didn't really know what to expect from it. And now the first time I took it, yeah, it was a little bit rough at first because my body was like, what are you doing to me? But it's not, if you are eating within the bounds that your body is letting you, you won't be nauseous on it. You won't feel sick. You won't vomit. So for her to say that semaglutide isn't working for her, but she feels nauseous all the time, and that she's watching what she eats, but she feels, or how much she eats, but she feels nauseous all the time, she is overeating on that semaglutide. And I say that with so much confidence.
I do not have the capacity right now. Like, I'm going through a lot. And I'm telling you, if I start eating just like broccoli and chicken, I'm going to spiral even more. I have not quote unquote binged in easily a year and a half. I'll tell you, since I've been in Oklahoma, I haven't. So that's been almost like a year and a half. So I want to stick to that. And I feel like with how my mentals feel right now, if I start just like eating lettuce and broccoli, I'm going to be so beyond triggered. I know myself. So anyways, let's do a grocery haul. We have eggs, and I am gonna be putting my groceries away as I haul the food. So I got some of these cheddar jalapeno popcorn situation type deal. I've never had it before, so I'll definitely do a taste test. I got pesto tortellini Amy's TV dinner, fire roasted tomato and garlic classico spaghetti sauce, some Budok spicy ramen. So I got 2 of these ground turkey breasts, 99% fat free. So this is a veggie loaf Amy's TV dinner. It is like meatloaf, but it's just vegetables. I got one of her chili mac bowls, which is one of my favorites. Creamy coconut outshine bar, one of my favorite treats lately. And then I really enjoy making BLTs and sandwiches, so I got the whole grain 15.
Oh my god, those BLTs are so foul. I'm not really making any commentary on like the food she's eating because like what point is there to make on it? Um she's going to eat whatever she wants to eat. She you know says that she's like she already explained that she's not really paying attention to what she's eating anyway. And I don't really have much commentary on it because, like, I myself have been off the wagon sometimes. Like I said, it's hard sometimes, especially when you have mental health issues, which I will be discussing about her and her excuses later. But, you know, when you are going through mental health issues, I think a lot of people don't understand that it's also a physical issue. Sometimes when you are very depressed, anxious, whatever you want to talk about, it is difficult to get up and do your ADLs, your assigned, what is it? I forget. Anyways, it's, oh, assigned daily living, like your tasks of assigned daily living, that's what it is. So you know, things like showering, brushing your teeth, brushing your hair, making food, going to the bathroom, things like that. And when you're in a really deep depression, it's very hard. So I'm not going to knock someone for using ready-made meals or easy to make meals because I do that too. When I'm really struggling as well. I like to have things that are simple to make, that I can do quickly, that doesn't take much effort. So I won't knock her for that. But I think as someone who is trying to lose weight, and like I said, I'm not discussing her actual weight or how she looks or anything, but as someone who's trying to lose weight, I think that like she said, she's not trying to make herself binge, but she has foods that she knows triggers her and makes her eat a lot. And I think too, the other problem is we know she eats more than she shows on camera. Beck has said it. And, we know how she eats, and she wouldn't be sustaining this weight if she was eating the amount she shows.
Bread, got some grape Uncrustables. Y'all, they literally have heart-shaped pasta, so I was like, I need to get this. Got some rotisserie seasoned chicken breast lunch meat, more milk, a red onion, pine saw, 2 boxes of bacon, hot and spicy Duke's sausages, highly recommend.
2 things. 1, please, for the love of God, leave the milk alone, Amber. Like, Christ. And then 2nd, I thought we weren't a bacon girly. We've said we're not a bacon girly. We've watched her pick bacon off of things, but of course, with Amber, things change at the drop of a hat. So bacon girly it is. And those BLTs or BLOs, whatever you want to call them, those are nasty, okay? Like, and I'm not knocking other people for wanting to eat like that. It's her specifically. Like, those things are nasty.
Keep them in the fridge. Mozzarella string cheese. I need a new thing of sriracha. Salad mix. Some individual original Pringles. And also some sour cream and onion ones. Nutty Buddies. Last but not least, some of these beef and bean frozen burritos.
I know the Nutty Buddies thing was really controversial for people. And yes and no. Like, I would say for other people, it would be kind of awful to be like, well, you're telling someone they can't have like a little sweet treat. But for Amber, things like this are like triggering. Okay, like for me, I don't really keep chips in the house because I will eat them all because I have no control when it comes to that. So I know I can't keep those in the house. And so I don't. Like my husband and I really don't. Or if we do, they're things that I'm not going to eat a lot of. Like she has skinny pop, I have skinny pop. I definitely don't binge on that. I don't have binge eating disorder, but I do overeat. So I keep things that I'm going to overeat out of the house. I know myself. I know what I can and cannot have in here.
Oh, it's just a little brush. It's just a little brushing. We just a
Aw.
brushing.
He's
Oh,
such a
good
sweet boy. The only likable part of
Whenever I
Amberlynn.
brush him, he thinks that we're playing a game. Are we playing a game?
What do you do?
Oh, you're playing a game with him, Amber? Is it choosy, like you did with Rarity? Anyways.
Oh, you hear him purring? Yeah. Do you see yourself?
He's so sweet. I love Wasabi so much.
I'm genuinely having a hard time right now. It's like one of those moments that like I just
Okay, Amber. Every time I see someone crying or whatever, I do want to feel bad. And I would feel bad if I didn't think this was a ploy for attention. Um, you know, she has so much going on, and I genuinely think that she does have some of the quote unquote mentals. But she does nothing to better herself. So I don't feel as bad for her. Like, and especially since she like fake cries all the time. Um, and I'm not saying she doesn't genuinely cry. I think she genuinely cries about certain things when she feels like she's being slighted. Um, so I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it when she comes on here crying. I think a lot of times it is, like I said, a ploy for sympathy.
I just I just hurt so fucking bad. It's like the shit. Genuinely, it comes in waves. Like, and right now I'm fucking drowning. Like having BPD makes it to where like regulating your emotions is like so hard. Almost like
Okay. Here's where I have a problem. I I do not have BPD. I know a lot of people who do have BPD. Um, and they work so hard on themselves, on their emotions, on their reactions. Um, they have done so much therapy and work, and I know that there are a lot of things that are struggles for them, and they really are doing the best that they can. Watching her come on here and use like TikTok language or like the Google AI being like, here are the bullet points of BPD, um, it really irritates me. And she does this with CPTSD, which like CPTSD is complex in the that's what it stands for, a complex post-traumatic stress disorder. So it's complex in its diagnosis because it is not a recognized diagnosis. It's not in the DSM-5. It's kind of a subset of PTSD, but it's not like an official diagnosis. I looked this up, so I wasn't like I was pretty sure about this, but I looked it up. It's on the Cleveland Clinic. I can put a link down in the bio for whatever. Or not bio, link down in the description for those who want to look at it. It is a distinction, but it's not its own individual diagnosis. But she's going to come on here and she's going to talk about how her BPD and her CPTSD make her the way she is. And okay, sure, we can talk about how your mental health issues are an explanation for some of the things you do, but she uses them as an excuse and she's going to pretend like she's taking accountability, but she doesn't. It is so annoying, especially as someone who has PTSD, and I guess arguably it would be CPTSD, but it doesn't matter. Like, I'm diagnosed with PTSD. Actually, like, diagnosed not by someone from BetterHelp, but by not by Chat GPT. I am diagnosed by an actual psychiatrist. Like, they diagnosed me. So I understand what it's like to have PTSD. Um, I have been through it. I have had a lot of struggles with it, and it has taken so much therapy and self reflection and, having to learn healthy coping mechanisms to deal with everything I have been through in my life. So to hear Amber come on here and use these things as an excuse and not seek any sort of help, her saying, "Oh, I have an appointment on Thursday for blah, blah, blah," okay, cool, whatever. You've said that a million times. Where's it gotten you? You drop them as soon as it gets tough. And therapy is tough. Intake for me was probably the toughest time I've had in a long time. And I've been sticking with therapy because it is working. So, yeah, I just get very frustrated.
Virtually impossible depending on like how many times you've like exercised and like practiced that like regulating muscle. My BPD is like the worst when I'm in a relationship. That's how it is for a lot of people who suffer with it. So just coming out of a relationship, like I have genuinely practiced regulating my emotions more than I have in a very, very long time. Not to bring up people I don't really want to bring up, but when I was in a relationship with Erica, I almost didn't care as much to regulate my emotions because like we were long distance.
Okay. Girl, really? You were in a relationship with Erica? Erica was a troll. I would be embarrassed to be like, "Oh, I was in a relationship." No, 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 no. I would be like, "Oh, we're not talking about that. I did not. Nope." Like, that's not a relationship, Amber. You got played on the internet. And while Erica developed some weird feeling for you, she dropped you. And her wife, like, she doesn't mess with you either. So, like, for you to come on here, and also, you really want to play that game. You knew after a bit that she was in a relationship, that she was married, and you tried still to be with her. So, the Erica Valentine thing, that's embarrassing for you too. So don't even go there. And also pretending like you didn't care. Girl, please. You were so up in arms about that woman. It's not even funny.
And all the suffering kind of landed on me. But it's different when I was with Tommy, especially like while I was in Wisconsin for those 3 months. Every day you have to practice regulating your emotions because when you have BPD, everything is a million times stronger than that.
Okay, also, not Tommy. Her name is Emily. Okay, and this isn't me being like weird or whatever. I thought it was so weird for her to come on here and act like, oh, Tommy, and use they them. I use they them because that is how I identify. I am non-binary. But for her to come on here and do that, and then misgender Casey and misgender Beck, and dead name both of them, and constantly do this, girl, I don't care what it is that you got going on. I don't care if you were talking about your past with Casey. I don't care if you're talking about your past with Beck. You use the pronouns and the names that they have, okay? Like, you were part of the LGBTQIA plus community, all right? And we already got enough shit going on in this country, all right? Let's be real. No one needs you to come on here and be nasty to non-binary and trans people. And you yourself should know that as a lesbian. You should know what it's like to be an outcast when it comes to this stuff. So for you to feed into the transphobia and the MB phobia, like, it's just nasty work. Nasty, nasty work from a nasty, nasty girl.
Average. I'm almost like grateful for those experiences because I do feel myself improving. It's not a lot, but it's genuinely enough to where I'm like, wow, I notice a difference. And I think by going to therapy, and if you didn't watch my last vlog, my first like true appointment with my new therapist is Thursday. I think going to therapy is definitely going to help with that. And we're actually going to be doing EMDR therapy, which helps people with BPD and CPTSD, which I.
So EMDR therapy is like eye movement desensitization. It has to do with like refocusing, relearning. I forget the actual specifics of it. Like I said, I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychologist, but it has to do with like desensitization of trauma and things like that. So great, awesome, whatever. Like, wonderful that you are getting into this now, but you know, I hate to sound so dismissive. It's never too late for therapy. Everyone, I think, who is struggling should get into some form of therapy. And if you don't find the right therapist at first, keep trying. Because I tried a couple of different therapists until I got the one that I currently have, and she is wonderful. You know, and the therapist I had before her was really wonderful too, but I had some trauma that I couldn't really discuss with him, so I went with a new therapist, and it wasn't my old therapist's fault. It's just my comfort level. So really, I encourage people to find therapy, and that includes medication therapy. Amberlynn comes on here and talks a lot of shit about medication, how she doesn't take meds and blah 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 blah. She probably could benefit from medication because, like I said, I am someone who has a couple of different mentals, including the anxiety that she has, you know, and I have been on medication for a lot of my life. I've been on medication, I think, for at least half my life at this point, and it genuinely changed my life. And so did going to therapy. Like, you know, there are so many different types of therapy. There's medication therapy as well. And, you know, they go hand in hand. You can't really have one without the other. I mean, you can have like, when I say that, I mean like with medication. Medication-based therapy is great. I think you should also have some sort of cognitive therapy as well, because I tried just medication-based and it really didn't, it helped me be kind of level, but it didn't help me with working through my issues. That's what like cognitive therapy is for. So, you know, I think she gets on here and talks a big game and then does nothing about it. So
both of those things. From what she told me during the consultation, very trauma focused, which is exactly why I have these issues, is due to trauma. Wow. Sitting here and calmly talking to you guys has actually made me feel better. I've calmed down. I probably edited out a ton because this clip is 7 minutes long. And yeah, no, we're going to be editing this down majorly, but I think just like talking to you guys actually helps. Sometimes like I'll distract myself with like Legos or journaling, taking Twinkie on a longer walk than usual, just like finding anything to distract myself. So this is like a really good outlet for me, is just like being able to like have these video diaries, and I just appreciate.
Girl, okay. So yeah, talking things out is wonderful. You know, journaling is wonderful. But doing it to your audience is not. Okay? Like, if you want to talk about your daily struggles with your audience, that's fine. But using them as free therapy is not okay. This is ridiculous. And she does it all the time, where she's like, oh my gosh, just talking with you. Oh, talk to a therapist, because then maybe they can help you get through these peaks and valleys. I just don't get it.
You guys listening, truly. Hey guys, it is the next day. It's February 3rd, and I just want to say I'm very upset with myself. As quick as I can lose 13 pounds in a week of water weight, I can also pretty much almost gain that back. So we're gonna try to do 10 days of calories again. I've just been in a really bad headspace, mental headspace, so I literally have not been caring about
gaining 13 pounds, even if she has a couple of days off of semaglutide. Gaining 13 pounds while you are on semaglutide is crazy work. I mean, it is almost I don't know how that is possible. Well, I do know how. She's overeating, or she's not taking the semaglutide as instructed, or she is not on semaglutide. Like, I mean, I don't know how, because she ate a crazy amount before, and now she is still gaining or maintaining. And it's not all water weight. Don't give me that. I know you got lipedema, lymphedema. Like, I understand that. But you do nothing for that either. There are things you are supposed to do when you have those conditions. And she does nothing for that either. So, I mean, you're not gaining 13 pounds of water weight, sis. Like, that's not happening.
How much I've been eating or anything like that. So I'm like super swollen, like my lymphedema leg, which by the way, I now have lymphedema in both legs, but I'm referring to my right one, the one that's bigger. Like, it is extremely swollen. I prefer counting my calories and seeing how much I'm eating. I don't care what I'm eating right now. For me, it's all about being in a calorie deficiency. Okay guys, so today is February 4th. I just woke up and I realized that I am a complete flop. Yesterday, life won. So we're starting the 10 days of counting calories and weighing myself today. I'm gonna take Twinks out, I'm gonna weigh myself, and then I'm gonna get in the shower and I will catch up with you guys when I'm done and ready for the day. Okay guys, so it has literally already been half of the day and I'm finally back to vlogging. We have some updates, okay? So we're gonna start off with my weigh-in, so here's that.
Hello,
Hello.
it's ready.
Stepping on.
509.4 pounds.
509.4. Literally horrific. I understand. I am so swollen. Literally the only thing I could do is like move forward. Like, I'm
Girl, stop blaming all of this on being swollen. That is like almost an 8-pound gain on semaglutide. That is so difficult to do. And like I said, I understand that she has conditions where swelling does add a lot. But, you know, she uses that as an excuse all the time too. And I don't understand it. Like, you can have swelling and it can really swell up bad, but she is always swelling up. But on the days that she's doing good, oh no, that was all her. Like, okay, all right.
always gonna struggle with lymphedema, always gonna be a thing. But it just sucks that like I gain weight like triple or maybe even quadruple as quickly as I would if I like didn't have that. It genuinely just sucks. So I showered, I obviously got ready for the day. I also ended up eating while I was doing some work on my computer. So I had a poke bowl and a Nutty Buddy, so I'll show you that here. All right, so I'm going through a food fixation where I love me a poke bowl. So it's crab and like just a bunch of...
I'm so sorry to pause on this. But that's a big ass poke bowl. Like, oh my god. And I know she doesn't eat all of it. Well, she shows that she doesn't eat all of it. I don't know if she did or didn't, but I mean, again, like I said, it is so difficult for me to think on semaglutide, even with off days, to eat so much. My stomach would explode.
Vegetables like jalapeno, edamame. Is that even a vegetable? I don't know. Corn, like the list can literally go on and on. I guess I could put my little order thing right here for you guys to see. But that was 662 calories, also a Fanta, 0 calories, and then I had a Nutty Buddy for 310 calories. So it came out to 972 calories. Super delicious. Obviously, it was a very high calorie meal, but it was worth it because it was freaking tasty. Like I was genuinely so full, I couldn't even finish my poke bowl. I also did some Instagram Q&A. I do like to keep that strictly for Instagram, but I'm gonna add a couple of the questions that I did here. So here's that. So I've not been with them in almost 5 years. I am a completely different person than I was then. And I'm sure Beck is also a different person.
Beck is a different person. You, Ambi, are not a different person. Not in the slightest. You are just the same manipulative, nasty, mean girl that you have been since Casey. Because you can come on here and act like, you know, during the Crystal era, you can act all quiet and mousy and, hi, I'm Amber. But we saw the Facebook posts. We saw the Ask FMs. We saw the whatevers. You know, we saw your nasty work. So you have not changed in all these years. And that is really something to be said about you. And, you know, Beck has really found their voice and their strength, and I commend them for that. I know they've been working really hard to, you know, come forward and talk about what they went through, what hellish nightmare you put them through, Miss Choosy. And for you to act like, oh, that's so far-fetched, like some of the things that Beck say are so far-fetched, I think the fuck not, ma'am. We saw you doing Choosy in the Crystal era. We saw you do Choosy with her earrings. With your earrings, sorry. Crystal definitely didn't do that. So we saw you have these behaviors before. You have a pattern of behaviors with each and every partner you've had. You are a manipulative, lying narcissist. And I'm no psychologist, I'm no psychiatrist, so don't take that as me diagnosing her. I don't know her. I couldn't diagnose her even if I wanted to because I don't have that degree, that specialty. My background is in elementary education and pharmacy, so I can't talk about specific diagnoses like that. But in my personal opinion, and from what I have been through in my own life being with a narcissist, she is a controlling, manipulative person who gaslights her partners, gaslights her audience, and does not feel remorse for it. The only time she ever feels sadness or feels bad about anything is when she is caught in something or something is exposed about her. That's the only time you see her coming on here and being like, oh, I'm so sorry. I know I wasn't perfect, blah, blah, blah. Okay, ma'am. Like, great. You're sorry you got caught. You're sorry that your audience is now turning on you. Because, again, I saw things from back in the early Beck era, and lots of people were on her side about many different things and felt bad for her for being this sort of pariah on the internet. But things have really changed because people have come to know who you are and who you are as a person. And that is the problem, Amber. People have seen who you are as a person. So when you come on here and say it's because people are fat phobic or whatever, guess what? I'm kind of a thick bitch myself. So I'm coming on here to let you know I don't care about your weight. I don't care that you're 500 pounds. That is your decision and your decision alone. If you want to maintain that weight, if you want to lose weight, whatever. But you coming on here and acting like that is the sole reason people don't like you is a false narrative. You are unliked because you are not a nice person. You are mean. You are nasty. You have nothing to add that is valuable to people's lives. We've seen it with each and every partner. Funny how none of them talk to you, right? Because you were such good friends with all of them, right? Besties with Crystal, besties with Destiny. You and Wifey had a split that was mutual, yet Jade does not fuck with you at all. So, and now look at Emily. Emily talking shit about you on Instagram. Beck, we know, has been through the ringer with you. Really, they have been through it with you. Casey, the things that you did to that guy are nasty. That man has been through enough with you. You're a nasty person for that stuff. And to accuse him of something that he never did to you, and then to come on here and basically say oopsies in a poem form, RAPE, rain and petals eavesdrop, Miss Ma'am, you used the wrong word. Yeah, okay. As someone who has been through rain and petals eavesdrop, I really don't mess with that. So if you want to know why I don't like you, Miss Amber Reid, it's because of that. Because you have falsely accused someone of sexual assault, because you have been abusive to your partners, because you are transphobic, because you are just really a piece of work. You are manipulative, nasty, mean, and you have not changed in all the years you have been online. So that's why people don't like you. You have not changed in all these years.
And they were then. Nothing was perfect. And I'm going to let you know that some of the things that Beck has said has been true, and some of the things have been flat out lies. No matter what I say, if I defend myself or not, people will choose to believe Beck. That is the way my whole YouTube career has gone.
Now, why do you think that is, Amber? You've made videos on how many lies you've told in the past. You have made not just one, you've made a few about how you've lied. You have lied to your audience. You have said, so what if I gaslight my audience? Okay, so Beck comes on here and talks about things that are believable because of you and your attitude. Beck comes on here and talks about it. Destiny came on here and talked about it. I'm not saying that, oh, they're perfect, they're angels, whatever. Obviously, Destiny wasn't. And, Beck has owned up to their stuff. And so that's why people are believing them over you because they have seen your pattern of behavior. Once again, you have not changed.
It's not gonna be any different now. So I would rather people believe every single thing that they said just to protect my mental health from having to defend myself to a bunch of people who already have their opinion made up. You know, to be honest, I would rather come clean about the stuff that's true than like sit there and like defend myself over the stuff that isn't true. I just realized.
So come clean about it. Talk about it. You talk about everything else and you talk shit about all these other people and whatnot. And you say about how they're lying, how reaction channels are embellishing things, how, you know, your words are being taken out of context or made to be sensationalized. Tell the truth about it then, ma'am. You act all high and mighty. What is the truth? You always come on here and talk about how you have so much stuff to say. Say it. Say it or shut up about it.
Like, I would rather be like, yeah, like, I'm gonna take full accountability. That did happen. Those things did happen. But the stuff that I have to defend myself on, girl, I would rather sit in like a lava, like a bowl of lava and just let my skin burn off.
I'd rather sit in a bowl of lava. Well, ma'am, you eat enough spicy foods that I'm pretty sure that you do that often.
At that point, like, truly. And that genuinely stands. Like, some of the things that Beck is saying is actually leaving me so shocked. And I'm more than willing to take accountability and admit where I was wrong, literally 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and 7 years ago. Like,
I hate that, okay? I hate that she does that shit. 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago. Girl, it was not that long ago that you were with Beck, okay? Not that long ago. And for you to sit here and act like, oh my God, it was so long ago. Like, I can't believe that they would bring that stuff up. Excuse me. That is their life too that they are talking about. You put them through hell for a long, long time. And you made sure that they stayed in that hell by manipulating them, by saying that you would be all alone and that you don't have family and all of this stuff, which, okay, yeah, but you're a grown woman, okay? Grown woman. I know you like to think that you're not, but you are. And to come on here and act like their issues and the things that they have been through, oh, it was so long ago, like, kind of get over it. You are really something. You want Beck to get over the things that happened to them, 5, 6, 7 years ago, but you won't get over things that happened to you in your childhood that were traumatic for you. We watched you really drag Mama Lynn through the ringer on your camera while she looked very disappointed in herself and admitted that she was a terrible mother. But you looked real happy when she did that. So, Miss Ma'am, 5, 6, 7 years ago is not that long ago in the grand scheme of things. And for you to come on here and act dismissive about that, well, sometimes it takes victims 5, 6, 7 years to talk about what happened to them because they're still processing. And lest we forget, Beck lost a year of their life because they were going through so much. They were medicated, they were going through renal failure, all these things, and still had to drive around your ass because you are not able to. You're not able to do that. So for you to come on here and act like so high and mighty about the fact that these things happened so long ago, get off your high horse, Amber. Honestly, you have no right to talk about what a victim of yours decides to discuss that happened in their life because of you and your behavior.
It's been so long since we've been together and I'm just not the same person as I was. I think it's very apparent. Beck is responding to things where, like, I was at like a very vulnerable state. Things that we went through together, like having to do with my mobility and things like that, like, that's not okay, like sharing those types of things. I understand.
No, it is okay. Because Beck is the one who had to take care of you. Beck is the one who had to do everything for you because you either could not or would not. You made them drive you around while they were highly medicated to the point where they almost caused accidents, and I'm sure they are not proud of that. In fact, I'm pretty sure they said they should not have been driving, but you are the reason that they had to. because you could not get around anywhere. You are the reason. You couldn't call an Uber, a Lyft, something? No. You made Beck do it because you knew Beck would, because you knew you could manipulate them into it. So that is a part of their life. And your mobility issues became their issues as well, because that is something that you did to yourself. You admit it. You did it to yourself. And then that fell on Beck to become responsible for you when you could not take care of yourself. And you said, too, that you couldn't take care of yourself, that you were bedbound. So what is a partner supposed to do? Leave you to rot? No way. So Beck took care of you. And for Beck to talk about it is well within their right. And they are, like I said earlier, affording you a lot of respect by not going into a lot of the details that I'm sure they could about you, your mobility issues, your hygiene issues, your food issues, your aggression, all of that stuff. They have talked very much about what affected them specifically. They have not talked about, I've watched, some of those comments are really mean. They're really nasty, the questions. And Jordy filtered them, Mr. Snowflake filtered them, and Beck filtered themselves. So for you to come on here and act like, oh, it's so unfair that they're talking about this, you've been talking about them for years. So I think Beck is well within their rights to talk about what you did to them.
Wanting to like share like in the ways that I might have mistreated you as a girlfriend, which I wasn't the greatest girlfriend back then. I can 100% like take accountability in that. But I think bringing up like my mobility issues, lying about certain things, exaggerating to make certain things seem way worse than what they were, and like answering questions that genuinely have nothing to do with like sharing your side of the story, and it's more so just, for the lack of a better term, it just feels like a bunch of people just sitting there talking shit. How I feel doesn't matter. I'm not going to defend myself towards the lies, but I will take accountability for the truth. More than anything in this current time, like I need to protect my peace. Like I was with Beck for almost 5 years, and there's a lot of things that they did or said or whatever that I could sit here and be like, well, guess what? Guess what they did? I can also share my side, but I'm not.
Do it. Jesus Christ. Do it. Like, you have threatened this with so many people. You threatened it with Destiny. You threatened it with Beck. I'm sure if Jade spoke out about you, you would threaten it with her. You know, I'm sure if Emily does anything additional, and once you get over the initial shock of being broken up with for being a fucking weirdo, I'm sure you'll have shit to talk about Emily too. But you do this all the time. You did it with Alexis too, the most irrelevant person in your life who is nothing more than a clout chaser. And honestly, you two used each other. You talked about how much shit you had on Alexis, and you come out with none of it. So either shit or get off the pot. Honestly, it is getting so old, this threat of, well, I have all this stuff on you, I have all this information that I could use. Then either say it or don't. But threatening it all the time is losing its, it's losing its impact, and especially on Beck, and I'm really glad about that. And to sit here and say, I'm taking accountability, this is not accountability. Accountability is without any ifs, ands, or buts. There are no stipulations with accountability. You either say, I was a shit girlfriend during that time, and I know it, and I'm trying to do better now, or you defend yourself. Because this is defending yourself, Amber. Like, I don't care what you think this is. You can say, I'm not sitting here trying to defend myself. I'm taking accountability, blah, 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 blah. You're not. This is not accountability. If there is some sort of stipulation to what you are saying, if there is a but, that is not accountability. You're making an excuse. So, what are we doing here? What are we doing here, sis?
Going to. All right, you guys, so I'm about to do my members live stream. I got my blanket and I'm all comfy, and I'm about to do it now. So if you guys want.
Oh my god, like, so exciting. Half of the people who are on there are reaction channels. God bless them, because I don't know how they could sit through all that drivel of yours, because all you do is sit there on your phone and disrespect the people who are paying you to be in that live stream. You sit on your phone, you take long ass intermissions. I've watched a lot of live streams from a lot of different creators, and sometimes they take intermissions, quote unquote, for like pee break. You do this for 2 hours, girl. You are not on here for like 12 hours. Old Lordy, it's Jordy, sits on there for hours and reacts and doesn't move. Honestly, this stuff is crazy.
Part of the memberships, you can press a little join down below. There's also a link in the description box, and I hope to see you guys there. Okay, you guys, so it is currently an intermission for my live stream. I've been live for an hour and 16 minutes. There's 111 people watching. Thank you so much. It has genuinely been really heavy on the Beck talk, which I understand that. I've done crying, I have taken accountability, really embarrassing things, and it's just been a lot. It's been like a very heavy live stream, I'm not gonna lie. I have a lot of support, I have a few trolls, but yeah, we're taking an intermission. They have no idea that I'm actually vlogging right now because I tilted up my laptop and they're looking at the ceiling, but someone wanted to go get some cigarettes across the street, and like, I was like, if you guys need to get a drink or get some popcorn or whatever it is you need to do, because we still have like 45 minutes to go. So just like a little tiny intermission. And my intermission is consisting of petting the baby girl. We have one right here, and petting the baby boy. We have one right here, and talking to you guys. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's
So, oh my god, I'm getting a fucking migraine from this. So I think it's so funny that she does these members only live streams, and now she's using it as content because she's really not getting the views, the likes, the clicks, the engagement, whatever. She's not getting it. So here she is, putting in her members only live stream for the public to view.
It's pointless to even try to explain or defend my name ever in any sort of situation, because people already have their idea of me, and you cannot change people's opinions about you, because people will believe what they want to believe regardless of what I say. I want to give.
Oh Lord, I cannot with her and the fake crying stuff. I just really can't. Also, if you're gonna defend yourself, do it. If you're not, then shut up about it. If you're gonna talk about these people, then say something of value, or stop talking about it.
My BPD under control so badly, because it's like some of the things that Beck said, I was like, yeah, I did do that. It made me sad for myself and for them, and it's like,
oh, shut up. You put that in there because God knows people would clock you so fast. I'm still gonna clock you. You felt sorry for yourself, and then you're like, oh, and them. Okay, sure. But yeah, some of the things Beck said, no, I think everything that Beck said, because you act as if we didn't watch everything unfold. You act as if we didn't see you on camera. Things that you put up yourself and that Eric put up as well. So I don't understand this whole pretending like you are being slighted by Beck. We saw how you treated them. We saw it.
Sorry, it's just a lot in this weird way. I'm almost glad that I can look back and be like, okay, wow, I wish I could have improved sooner, quicker, faster, but no time is better than now. Literally showed us pictures of your childhood, which we know is a sore spot, and people found a reason to be mean and rude about it. They did. Oh my god, I don't even want to know. It's hard to just protect my peace in the best way that I can. I used to.
Sorry, I just skipped forward. I think that was a sign from above because she's so boring. But talking about the pictures of her childhood, no, people were not mean about it, or maybe they were. I don't know. I haven't seen everything. But what people were saying was it was manipulative, which it was, and also how no one consented to being shown or having their baby picture shown, especially your brother who's in closed adoption. No one consented besides yourself to having those very private photos shown across the internet, and especially by you, who does not have the best track record, Miss Ma'am, of having a kind audience. So why would you do that? Besides for manipulation, you could have just explained it or shown pictures that just showed you, or blocked out everything, but God knows that Amber couldn't be bothered to do that.
Literally have to sit down to chop a cucumber, folks. I need you to focus in on that. I wasn't able to cook while standing. I wasn't able to shower without my legs literally trembling like this. Oh my god, my bra showing. Sorry about it. Gotta fix the boobies. A bra.
All right. Yeah. So her talking about how I couldn't even do this. I couldn't even do. Great, wonderful. I'm so happy. Hear that? Snaps for you, Amber. You can now stand while chopping a cucumber. That's, that's great and all, but again, it just shows that Beck was not exaggerating about your mobility issues, that they were not exaggerating about how much they had to take care of you when you were immobile. So, again, for them to come on here and say, yeah, I had to do all this stuff, I was more of a caretaker than I was a girlfriend, that's what happened. Like, I don't understand why you can't own up to that. Just say, I was immobile. Beck had to take care of me. And, that changed the relationship aspect. Because it does a lot. When you have to care for someone who is unable to care for themselves, it does take a toll on the relationship sometimes. And it happens. It happens with people all over the place, no matter their size, their age, whatever. It happens. So to act like that, oh, how dare Beck talk about my mobility issues? Girl, here you are talking about your mobility issues.
To me, is literally like a bikini. I don't understand the difference. Yikes. Hold on. I need to read this again for the chat.
Sorry. If we want to talk about bikini versus bra, it has to do with consent, which is a foreign concept to Amber. When you consent people to seeing a bathing suit, you usually consent to people seeing you in the outfit you chose. A bra is an undergarment, so there's the aspect of implied privacy. So that's why people don't want their bra showing, because you feel like it's an undergarment. It is supportive wear. That's part of the reason. But again, like I said, consent is something that is kind of foreign to Amber.
Because this is so fucking true. It's so bizarre to me that people invalidate your BPD, but then sit there and criticize you for the behaviors that you do that are literally textbook BPD.
Okay. Whoever the loser was that said that, shut up. Honestly, shut up. You can have behaviors of certain mental health things, okay? I would sometimes exhibit behaviors of anxiety. I would exhibit behaviors of PTSD. I would exhibit behaviors of depression. These are things that I struggle with. And I would not, sometimes my behaviors might have been odd, or I couldn't quite explain why I was doing them until I understood some of the different aspects of my mental health issues. Especially PTSD. I had a lot of triggers that I've worked myself through, and they would set me off, and I would do things, or I would act differently. And yes, that's an explanation for what you're doing or how you behave, but it doesn't leave you free from criticism. And I think that's what Amber thinks, is that she can come on here and say, well, I have BPD and I have CPTSD, so that's why I'm doing this. Great. You can still be criticized. You can still be criticized for your actions, because just because you have these certain issues going on does not mean that you are just allowed to act however the hell you want to whomever the hell you want to act that way to. There are consequences for your actions. It's so mind-boggling to me that she comes on here and acts like, oh, I'm taking accountability. It's, my BPD, it's my mentals, it's my anxiety, it's my whatever. Okay, maybe so. Maybe that's why you're acting a fool all the time. But that doesn't mean that you are free of criticism and free of consequence. Your actions have directly led to the harm of others. And for that, you need to be held accountable. And saying, I hold myself accountable, is not taking accountability. You need to say what you did wrong and that it was wrong, and acknowledge the people you hurt. There are people I have hurt in my past because of the way I acted. And now I can come on here and say, well, I was dealing with PTSD from a very traumatic and horrendous relationship I was in, and I acted up, and it's because of my PTSD. But that does not absolve me of hurting other people. It does not absolve me of the behaviors I had during that time. So whilst there is an explanation for me acting up or acting out, it does not mean that I just get a free pass to continue acting that way or to excuse myself and say, well, you were hurt, but it was because of my PTSD. My PTSD is why I acted the way I did. But it doesn't excuse me for hurting someone. And that is what Amberlynn doesn't get. She doesn't understand that her behaviors, whilst they have the explanation, are not something that you can just sweep under the rug. She has hurt a lot of people. She has left a lot of people in her wake. And she does not care. She doesn't care about it. She only cares when she is getting called out or in trouble. And you can see it. You could see the excitement that she just had when someone basically gave her an out and said, oh, well, you're BPD, you're exhibiting signs of BPD. How can people sit here and judge you, blah, blah, blah. It's because she has these things, okay? Maybe she does, maybe she doesn't. I don't know. I'm not her doctor. So I'm not going to sit here and say she does or doesn't have this. But she comes on here and is like, yes, someone is giving me an out. Someone is saying that this is not my responsibility. And she jumped on that. She was so excited. You could see her face light up when someone was like, here's your excuse, Amber. Like, okay, sis. Whatever. Moving on.
What are you guys doing? You're making me hungry. This happened last time. I don't get it. Whoa, my eyeliner slays. Sorry. I fully am accountable and acknowledge those moments and why that can be traumatic for them. And I am apologetic and remorseful and I feel horrific. And I know people are going to like twist what I said in this live stream, but I do want people to know, like, bottom line period, that like I am fully accountable and I'm sorry. All right, guys, so live stream is
being fully accountable and knowing that you caused someone trauma and then trying to excuse it, Miss Reid, please. You flip-flop so much. You say, I'm accountable, but here's all the reasons why I did it. I'm accountable, but here's all the excuses I have for why I acted the way I did. Like I just said, you are not free from consequence and you are not free from criticism. So when people come on here and say they are sick and tired of you acting a fool, hurting people, and not doing anything to change those behaviors, you know, you get all up in arms, but they're right. You should take accountability, and you still have yet to do that. Saying the words, I take accountability, does not mean you're taking accountability. You even said that that you caused Beck to have trauma. So do we not know what happens with trauma? You should, because you say you have CPTSD. So you should know that trauma is not just a psychological issue, but it's a physiological issue. The brain changes with trauma. So when you are saying that you caused people trauma, you caused a lot of trauma. And I'm sitting here, I know you can't see me, but I'm staring directly at, I'm going to take a screenshot of this because Miss Lynn, I am staring directly at you. I am looking right at you. I can see your face and I am looking in your eyes because this is one of the few times that you are not eye fucking yourself. But Miss Lynn, trauma is a psychological and physiological change in a person. When you cause trauma to people like Casey, when you cause trauma to people like Beck, when you cause trauma, you have changed them psychologically and physiologically. The brain changes. You have permanently altered these people with your behaviors and your actions. You have harmed these people. You have done damage to them for the rest of their lives. And thank God they are away from you, because if they had continued, who knows how much more damage you would have done to them. You have hurt people. You have left a wake of pain and suffering. And you have yet to say, I'm sorry to those people that you have harmed. All of them. Sorry, my alarm went off because it's 9:45. I've been yapping for a long time. But you have left such a wake of destruction in your path. It is unimaginable how many people you have harmed. And I don't know about any friendships or whatever, but you have harmed your friends too. You harmed Crystal. You harmed, I'm sure you harmed Eric and Ricky. You harmed Alexis, which, whatever, she can go kick rocks, but you are not a good person. And to come on here and say, well, I may have caused trauma. I accept that I caused trauma. To say that so flippantly and nonchalantly and do it on a members only live where people have to pay to see you, and then you put it on here because you're not getting the likes, clicks, views, and engagement, that is not okay. That's not okay. To monetize yourself harming other people and then going, I'm sorry. So you can come on here and say, I'm sorry behind a paywall. But when Beck talks about the shit that you put them through, the trauma that you caused, that you admit you caused, it's wrong. Okay, Miss Reid. Like I said, you are a piece of work. You truly and honestly are a piece of work. And you are just a bad person. That's why people don't like you. And I'm sure there are some people who are nasty and saying, it's because you're fat or whatever. Because I get that too. People have made fun of my weight for a long time. I get that. It's not fun. It's not nice. Blah, 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 blah. But people genuinely do not like you because you are not a good person.
Over. It was a heavy one, but I'm okay. I am going to go to my kitchen and find something to eat. And since we're doing like a what I eat today for 10 days straight, wow, that's a lot. I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna have. All right, you guys, so I'm about to have 2 of these beef and bean burritos. It's 290 calories each, so that's $5.80 for 2 of them. Okay, you guys, so I'm actually in the middle of getting ready for bed, and I had to remind myself to end this vlog. So I had a sandwich. I took a picture, but I did not take a video.
Okay, sorry. First of all, I hate onions, so like she loves them, and I just every time I see them I'm like, oh god. First of all, kind of like, what, 2 burritos and then a sandwich on top of that? Again, semaglutide, what the hell is going on? Like, how are you able to eat this? I would be bent over the toilet, honestly. One side or the other, I don't know, but it would have killed me. This sandwich, oh god, this sandwich is a monstrosity. That is a nightmare. Like, what the hell?
So that's what you're looking at now. It was pretty much like a BLT, but without the tomato. Add some onion, add some chicken lunch meat. And then I had a coconut outshine bar, which I forgot to take a video, and I forgot to take a photo, but I'm still telling you, it was literally just like a coconut, like, ice cream bar type deal, which was only 110 calories. So in total today, I've had 2,147, and that is all I will be having for the night. And all the drinks I've had today have been diet, either Diet Fanta
I don't believe
or
it.
Diet Dr. Pepper. So anyways, thank you guys for watching this vlog, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye. Hello guys, welcome to
Oh god, no. Hey, I don't know who this is, but anyway, oh, Bottle's a great channel. We'll leave it on her old image from Bottle here. So yeah, that's the end of that vlog or whatever nightmare. Again, she is using Beck for engagement. She is talking about Beck and whatever, and she's taking accountability. No, she's not. So just to end this, again, like I said, it is ridiculous that she will come on here and act like so high and mighty, act like she is oh, I'm above all this. I'm taking accountability for things that happened so long ago, all whilst still lying to our audience. Because I'm sorry, there is no way that you are on semaglutide and eating that little and gaining weight. So we're lying to our audience about something. We are still not taking accountability. We're admitting that we caused trauma to people, but acting as if there's an excuse because, oh, my mentals. Again, at the end of the day, really what it comes down to is that Amberlynn is sick. There is something wrong with her. All right, we all know this, and I'm not going to pretend like there isn't something wrong with her or that she doesn't struggle with mental health problems, because it's clear that she does. But are her mental health issues the ones that she identifies as? I don't know. Again, I'm not her doctor, I'm not her psychiatrist, not a psychologist, whatever. But she is clearly struggling with something. But for her to pretend like that's an excuse, it's not. It's not an excuse. You cause trauma to people, and that is why people don't like you. That's why there's reaction channels. That's why I'm reacting to this, because I am someone who suffers with some of the things that you suffer with or say you suffer with. And to hear you come on here and use them as an excuse and to really damage some of the images like that come with all with these mental health issues, because now I don't have BPD, but like I said, I know a lot of people who do, and I know they struggle a lot, and I know there's a lot of misconceptions out there about it, and I think Amber feeds into those really, really badly. And I think that it is unfair for her to come on here and continue to use her struggles as an excuse. And now it's great that she says she has therapy and all this stuff. We'll see if that actually happens. But for now, she is just raw dog in life with these issues and refuses to take care of them. If you have a physical issue with your health, you would take care of it. You have a broken arm, you would go to a doctor and you would get it fixed. It's the same thing with mental health. You go to a doctor and you try to better yourself, or you try to make life better for yourself. Because, as someone with PTSD, life was very difficult when I was trying to do it and handle everything by myself, until I got a therapist, until I talked out my issues, until I really faced them head on, which I think is what Amber is really scared of. It's facing all of the issues that she has and knowing that it'll be difficult and that it will be reliving some of the things that, whether it's her childhood, which is, I'm not going to take that away. That was bad. She had a bad childhood. Whether it's reliving that and the trauma that may have caused, or whether it's having to face herself, because a lot of therapy is self-reflection and facing yourself and having to answer the questions of, why am I acting like this? Why am I doing this? What can I do to change? I think Amber just doesn't want to do that work. Amber is not one for work. And therapy is tons and tons of work. And if you find the right therapist, they're going to make you do that work. So for her to act like, she's doing all this stuff, but it's her mental health, okay, that's not an excuse. Stop using it as an excuse. You are really just making things 10 times worse for yourself. Because if you never own up to what you've done and you never face yourself, then you're never going to get better. And I don't think Amber wants to get better, because I truly think she likes the attention she gets from wallowing. Because like you saw in her members only thing, she still gets some supporters who are like, well, it's because of your BPD that you're doing this. And she just, yep, that's it. You're so right, bestie. You're so right. Okay. Anyways, that's enough of me yapping. It's been an hour and 15 minutes. And that's a lot of Amber to consume because I usually consume her through a filter. I don't consume her directly because I think it's harmful to my body and my psyche. So, like I said, I was getting a migraine and now I have one. Thanks, Amber. Um, Anyways, if you like this, if you want to see more commentary, I probably would do, well, I don't know. I'm very long winded and I like to talk. But if you want to see more commentary, please leave a like, a comment. Tell me what you thought about this. I know maybe I'll put a camera on a different time. I do have my husband's set up somewhere, I think. He's still got a mic up. I don't know about a camera though. But if you did like this, let me know. I would love to hear your opinions. Anyways, that's it from me. Take care of yourselves and have a great day.